Yo, what's up? Happy Sunday. It's time for Funny Money Rock. All right, before we bring the panelists on, I just need to unload about this week. It has been crazy, but it's been well worth it. So, this week, Speak My Words. It's a play that I did here in Palm Springs. It comes out for wide view. So if you weren't able to make the show or you weren't on the list, now anybody can see it. It's a wonderful piece written by Lorenz Catava and directed by Yvonne Jourdain. I play a man of tomorrow, the black gay man of today, but I am coached through the play. I don't want to give too much about it, but I'm coached by greats like James Baldwin and Essex Hempfield and Langston Hughes, just to name a few. It's really incredible. It's a historic moment, but it's a fun moment. Again, Juneteenth is, if you ask me, Black History Month of the summer now, okay? So it just is what it is. It's Equality Month. We're sharing it with pride. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. Check that out if you can. Also, I am hosting a couple events this week. One on Friday, I will be hosting Naj. He's a black gay singer-songwriter for Brothers of the Desert, an organization out here in Palm Springs. And then Sunday, I will be in Philly. Is this Sunday or Saturday? Sunday, I'll be in Philly hosting the book release of Kevin Mines, aka Venom, King Venom, in his book A Life of Lust is going to be coming out, and I'll be hosting a Q&A with him and his publisher JL King, doing a couple songs from The Adventures of Bam Bam. It's going to be super exciting, but I just want to take a second. So yesterday was the anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting, where over 45 members of the LGBT community, largely black and brown people, lost their lives to a senseless instance of hate. And so let's have a moment of silence for them. All right, like I told you, we got an amazing show today. We got two special panelists, and our permanent panelist, J.R. Stacks, is here. It is time for Funny Money Rock. Let's get started.
Funny money in this bitch, and you know we too legit. Been this side since 1-6, slim, thick lips. Know how to keep my nigga brick on this. Stay at the top spot of that wish list, bitch.
All right, so let's get started with today's headlines. Let's bring in today's panel. So from Philly, we have the gorgeous Ebony icon Fierce. We'll chat about the city of brotherly love in a moment. Also, from further up north in Connecticut, aka the suburbs of New York, we have Sev7en Taylor, who's here to talk about his new book. And of course, last but not least, we have my brother from another mother, Junior Stacks. As always, it's not shade if it's true, so here's what's what today. All right, so Texas elected their first African black gay man elected to any office. So he's going to join the ranks of Richie Torres out of New York, and Mondaire Jones and Malcolm Kenyatta, or Kenyatta Malcolm in PA. So like, is there something really special happening? Now, just to give you guys a little bit of background in the story, the Jalen McKee Rodriguez, that's the black gay man who won the elected office, he actually used to work for the person he was running against. But because, as you made that HR joke earlier, JR, in the workplace, it was anti-gay, and when Jalen went to complain about getting this kind of treatment, he didn't get any responses, and so you got to be careful how you treat people, coming up or whatever. We'll talk about it after we hear Jalen's election-winning comments.
Gay candidate. Is Texas ready for a young gay black man to be elected anywhere, into any position. And so I think what we proved and what the community proved is that everyone deserves representation. And if you have the right motives, if you have the right passions, and if you're a good listener, the people will trust that. And I hope this opens doors for a lot of people.
Okay, so this is my first question for the Northerners. Does this make you think about maybe, do you think the South is more appetizing? I'll start with you, Sev7en.
As far as like what, like living there?
Yeah, progressive. They're making strides moving forward. As a Northerner, could you see yourself living in the South now that it's progressing?
I feel like for me, the South is fun to visit. Necessarily live there, I don't know. Maybe have property there, yeah. But as far as like live there, no. I never really was like that profound of the South like that, but I do love the culture. I do love that Atlanta and all those places is like full with a lot of Black culture and stuff like that. But as far as progression, I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see us in different spaces and places. I do know that a lot of us that are African American, or whatever how you identify, we do deal with the double consciousness. We're always looking through the lens of our white counterparts on how they view us and what's acceptable and what's what doesn't make them threatened by us, So it's like, to see us in these spaces and places and stuff like that I'm here for it.
For sure. And from the city of brotherly love, what have you ever lived in the South, Ebony?
No. Actually, I just went to a city, it's a little small town in the South for the first time 2-3 months ago. I went to Dollywood, which is near Knoxville, Tennessee, which is a Dolly Parton themed park. I know, super good. And based on my visit there for 5 days, I love how peaceful the South is, how tranquil it is. It's super simple compared to living in Philadelphia. But I personally don't think that I could being the person that I am, even in the LGBTQ community, because I'm a unicorn or whatever. I don't think I could live in the South, really, unless it was New Orleans or Atlanta.
Okay.
So to answer your question,
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Okay. I have another question though. So with the Dolly thing, because I was listening to some of your performances and stuff, and I see you have you're like a musician's musician. Like if you guys get a chance to, and we'll put up the stuff on the screen and stuff in post, but the playlist is very much like you can listen. You'll know some songs. Your mom will know some songs. Maybe grandma might know some songs. Have you done Dolly Parton?
I have not.
I think it would be great to see a Black Dolly Parton. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So
I have a big blonde wig, like a bouffant, very
and she would love it. She would love it. Like she's that kind of person too. So she would love it. JR, so you spend your time between New York and Atlanta and all in all. I framed a question about how Texas finally did it, but New York just did it last year.
New York is, how can I say it? New York's legal system is gay friendly, but the society itself is not necessarily gay friendly unless you live in Manhattan. But no one, the way New Yorkers' attitudes are, it's like they don't care unless you're in the hood.
Okay, like you're from around there. Okay.
Yeah, we have hate crime laws. We've had hate crime laws for a long time, but that don't mean you're gonna get anywhere. Like, but you know, in Atlanta, I don't know. It's like, you know, I love the South, but I spend majority of my time out here in Atlanta. I like Atlanta. You know, New York to the death of me, but I like Atlanta.
It's never the same every time I go back. It's always a little less gay, or like I don't know.
You
And
know
then
what's so weird?
What?
It's definitely not as gay as like me and you remember, like
Right?
back in the day. Like it's not. It's not. Yeah, no. Like they're not out here like that. And if they are, they're doing a great job hiding. Because
you know who I was surprised actually to find that like the guys were a little bit more forward was actually in Philly. So the last time I was in Philly, we were on South Street, and like you know these construction workers are like eyeballing me and Rob or whatever, and I'm like yo like it's gonna pop off, and like. It wasn't until the cashier told them, was like, well, what, you want to take their number? Like, you know, while you looking at them like that, I realized that they were, family. But, so it's weird. It's weird how that's changing. Finally, before we move on to the next topic, we're all artist type, right? Artist types, and that's I think that is partially because of our gender and sexual expressions, right? Does this, like, make anybody think that like, oh, maybe I could have or still could be like, a political leader?
Wait, what was the last part?
I mean,
in short, does seeing this new class of black gay politicians make you consider what it would be like to be one in the future, or if you would have chose that path?
Oh, okay. Well, you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like it definitely gives privilege to the younger gays, and of course us as well, that are coming through. Especially the black gays and stuff like that that really don't see themselves in those spaces. So to see yourself, and to see yourself in your fullness is a privilege, is a blessing. So that we are navigating these spaces and stuff like that, I think, yeah. I mean, if I was to go down, I'm more of an artsy guy. I like creating politics and all that stuff like that. I learn about it, I'm on it, but it's not something I would live. But for someone that is looking for that lane and looking for that light, they can look to this new guy and so many other people to get into that door. So I think it's passing the baton.
Okay. And Ebony, as a community organizer already, and from Barack Obama to so many other people, they begin as community organizers. Does the new class of black gay politicians inspire any ideas in your mind?
I personally wouldn't get into like an office position or anything else like that, but I feel like the work that I continue to do with making sure that black and brown, especially trans and non-binary entertainers get the fair treatment and pay in the performance world. I feel like that is, in a sense, a part of making change in a political way, and also continuing to do the grassroots work and demanding change and doing things that way. So I wouldn't get into office, but doesn't mean that I won't stop the work that a politician would do.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense, and I'm going to ask Junior, but I kind of already know what he's gonna say. So go ahead and say what you say.
Nah, you already know I'm not with it. I don't think you want me to be with that either.
True. It would give very. I'm not gonna say it would give Trump, because he would have different policies, but it would give very like. What'd he say? Check his Twitter feed. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, moving on. So this is kind of sad. Orange is the new black star, Leah Delaria. She's opening up about being majorly gay bashed so badly that it sent her to the hospital. Now, she's 63 years old, and so I'm not good at math, but this occurred when she was 24 years old. But, it's something, happened so devastating to her, that it put her in the hospital. And she has a pretty, just in the whole, I like drawing connections between the black gay, between Juneteenth and gay pride. And so what I will say is that her history-making moment was she was the first openly gay comedian to appear on American television, and the person that gave her that opportunity was Arsenio Hall. So I just like to remind people that the black thing and the gay thing been going together for a long time, and will continue to do so. But she goes on to say it's always been really rough for trans women, very rough, especially for trans women of color. And it's always been incredibly rough on butch lesbians, she continues. So my question, and I'll go to Junior Stacks with this. Does it matter that it was like so many years ago?
I mean, I understand why she's like saying it. I just feel like, you should have said, who did, like, you should have said that when the show was hot. I don't know, I just feel like it just would have did a lot. Like, not trying to bring her story down at all. I'm just saying, like, if you were doing it to, like, get the publicity so to get the attention that it needs to get so the right people could hear it, it would have been when the show first came out, because everyone was talking about that show. Gay, straight, black, white, Spanish, like, everybody was talking about it when it first hit. Now it's like, you so many seasons in, we're not talking about it no more. Had she did it after the first couple episodes or after the first season, yeah, it would have really shined the light on it a little bit more.
Okay. And she
I
did.
mean, I feel like it happens to everybody. I mean, I was gay bashed a few times growing up. I just kind of feel like, I don't know. Well, I came from the hood, so.
I mean, I get that. I guess so. Ebony, my question would be this then. Do she goes on to, Leah Delaria, she goes on to say that, she feels like it's a world of difference now. Do you, as, a non-binary trans woman, do you feel safe, going to work, coming back from work? What is that like in a place like Philadelphia?
Like anywhere, safety is compromised, especially with black queer folks. Safety is always compromised, even in spaces that are safer. I understand that living in a city, especially living in a city where you don't know who's going to come out, you don't know who's going to you're going to come in contact with or across or whatever. I always have to be on high alert, and I always have to be, aware. So I will say that I'm used to, feeling like I need to turn around and watch my back, but unfortunately, in my head, it's just what I'm used to living in a city like Philadelphia. Now, things have changed a lot, and a lot of queer people have moved here, and there's a lot of queer-friendly spaces all around. But is it necessarily safer for black trans women? Not really, especially with these high rates of murders and harassment with black trans women. And this includes people in the LGBTQ community, especially gay men. Most definitely, at times don't make it easier for black trans women to survive. Yesterday, I just saw, a gay dude harass one of my friends at a club, outside of a club. So, yeah, safety is compromised everywhere, unfortunately.
So now, before we loop in Seven on this, so basically you kind of opened it up to, like, you're saying that in many cases you find and I'll just boil it down for, some of the Funny Money audience, the butch queens be having problems with the butch queens be having problems with the girls. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. No, so let's unpack that, because that's actually something very passionate to me. I'm going to give the quick background and stuff that a lot of gay men feel abandoned by their counterparts when they transition, and sometimes they feel as though that a lot of times trans women assimilate into to straightness in at the expense of the butch queen's faggotry or whatever. Okay, so. My question is, I didn't realize how that was getting to a violent point, or instances like that. Has anybody else heard of like that? Like,
I mean, I've heard of it before. I've seen it a lot, like in New York. I've seen it a lot.
And then are the butch queens trying to like? Is that some, like, does that make them feel, because, hurt people. So does that make them, like, more closer, feel closer to the establishment? I'm just trying to, figure it out. Anyway, what do you think, Sev7en? Ooh, can y'all hear him?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I don't think there's any sound.
Oh, I asked if y'all can hear him, and y'all say yeah, so I was gonna let him go. Oh.
No, I said I can't.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Oh, we can't hear you. Okay, let me see what's going on. Let me check. Okay, you muted yourself. Okay, what do you do? Because I've never been on that side. When you mute yourself, Junior, what do you, like, how do you undo it?
Oh, there's a button at the bottom called mute. He has to unmute it. Just tap it. No, you're still not there.
Oh, sometimes he logs on and logs back in. Sometimes that's just what has to happen. But I want to hear what you were going to say, because it sounded like you came in and you was like, just go out and come back in.
Yeah, you could log out and come right back in.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So what I was saying is, I see things from both. I see the duality of the situation. I see that there's a lot of gay men at times can put trans women and so on and so forth in very endangering situations, spilling tea, all types of messy things that they do interact with. And I also see that just from personal experience, sometimes we can be vicious to each other. Like trans women sometimes can be on the tip of, well, you didn't have the guts to transition, or you didn't do this, or you ain't doing that, and you wish you was fish like me, and so it can go into that whole spill as well, where it's like they're both we're together, but we're coming at each other. So someone is trying to get the best read, someone trying to get the best up on the next person, but I do see a lot of times that there is situations where gay men can put trans women in some very sticky situations, and that's something that should be worked on, just because of the death toll and all different types of things going on. Like, I just feel like we should just stick together in this, since we are in this what we call community.
I think that was beautifully put, and it's something that we have to work on, because we're only as strong as we are united. And so that's why whenever I hear a little bit of that, I like to dig into it and say, like, well, why, who's feeling what way and why are we feeling it? So speaking of pride, so community organizers and activists and queers of conscience have banded together to form an organization called the Reclaim Pride Coalition. They said they're tired of watching Pride turn into a 7, then 9, then 12-hour circus overflowing with corporate money. The Pride Parade has become a new symbol of gay for pay. The imposition of barricades along the parade roof separated the participants from its audience, turning the Pride March into an entertainment venue instead of a true expression of our cultural legacy. And then also there's an issue with the presence of police there, given the fact that
Is he talking about Pride New York?
Yes. But this
Okay,
movement is
like I said-
actually is going national. They're actually,
Oh, wow.
and I don't have the clip now. We'll go ahead and put it in post. But people are kind of gay people are protesting Pride, which I don't really have a huge
the
problem
weird
with.
part about that is I used to go to Pride when I was in high school, and it was always barricaded. There was never a time where it wasn't barricaded. That's why when I first came to Atlanta and I had my first Pride in Atlanta, I was surprised to see how everyone was just out in the street and that there were no cops. Like it was just like it was an actual like thing. That's why I was like, wow, it's so different here versus back home where the police are stopping you from getting by. There's barricades. They're telling you what directions you can walk and what directions you can't. There's literally a parade and float coming down the street. Like, I'm used to that. It's been like that forever.
And I saw you nodding, Ebony. I saw you nodding. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, Pride New York, by the way, is nuts. Yeah, I've been there a few times, and I was like, oh my gosh, like where the hell are we going? And actually, one year we actually snuck into the parade room and started marching with some of the queens, and the police didn't notice. But yeah, it's very hectic. Philly's a little different because of course Philly's smaller, so there isn't a police barricade really. I see what people mean. They want to get rid of the capitalistic aspect of Pride with big corporations and stuff, and they want to get back to its roots, which, you know, Pride is a march and everything. But at the same time, you know, Pride is fun. It's a party. It's also celebration. It's a march. It's a protest. But it's also a celebration. Why not? Why can't it be both? Why can't I see somebody in a harness, and why can't I see somebody with a tutu? Why can't I see somebody wearing a fitted? It's for everybody. It's the true essence of our community. But I do understand that they don't want Bank of America having a rainbow flag with a big ass float, you know, coming down the parade room. But as somebody that performs and work with corporations during this month and getting that good coin, I'm a little biased, but I understand it.
Well, you
I
make
mean,
it.
but then the question comes to be like, what Pride are you talking about? Because it wasn't until I moved to Atlanta that's when I realized there's a Black Pride and a White Pride.
Yeah.
Because in New York, we don't have that. In New York, it's literally just that one day in June for Pride. Like, that's the parade.
There's no Black Pride at all in New York.
No, we do.
That's
like,
surprising.
Really?
they'll have like Brooklyn Pride or like Queens Pride, but like we don't have a Black Pride. Now here in Atlanta, there's Pride, like what's going on. I guess, you know, you can celebrate Pride this month, but Atlanta has their own Pride, and that's mainly for the white people, where there's vendors and everything's commercialized. And then you have Black Pride, where like, I don't know, it's just
sex parties and like
at the park, the club. Everyone's going to the clubs all weekend. Like, that's just what it is.
Okay, so two things.
One thing. I'm sorry. I know Philly has a Black Pride too. It's called.
Yes, yeah, Philly has a Black
It's
Pride.
called Pleasure. It's called Pleasure.
No, is it? I think it's called Philly Black Pride.
It's not called Pleasure.
No, they're Black Pride.
Pride.
You know what it is? They're like a promoter. Like our guest it wasn't last week, but last time we did the show, our guest from What's Up in ATL. Like they. Yeah. You know, they're the promoter, so it seems like they are the organizers of Pride. And because so often Pride organizers are kind of like underpaid, that there's like a lot of turnover and stuff like that. But the point that I didn't want to lose is one is the fact that, you know, why can't it be harnesses? There's another issue, another problem that people are having with Pride is, and we kind of posted someone's post on Instagram the other day, complaining about, I want to get it right though, so let me get it right. So, Pride is not a gay zoo. I do not have to be on my best behavior for the straights, your children, or siblings. I will wear a jock strap. I will get fucked against a recycling dumpster. If that's too much for you, don't bring your children, siblings, and straights. This is my space. That got a lot of response. that got a lot of people talking. And so when you said that little thing about the harness, I was like, well, if it continues getting, capitalized, they're gonna do something about that, and it's gonna be less sterilized for those people who, let's be honest, it's about sexuality. And then second thing I wanted to say about the corporate sponsorships and stuff, that's another beef that a lot of people have with Pride is that, oftentimes they don't book independent queer talent. So I'm glad, so there's that thing going. But Sev7en, what do you have to say about any or all of that?
I did see that post and it was a key. I feel like Pride, in a sense, lost its essence a long time ago, where there is people that just kind of hypersexualize the event rather than really dig deep into the roots of what it is, as far as celebration, liberation, so on and so forth. But if the girls want to cut up and do what they want to do, but I don't know. I kind of feel like so I feel like we celebrate Pride. And we have these fun festivities and these 3-day long club adventures and things and stuff like that. But do we really have pride? Are we really prideful of who we are? Are we really in there doing the work besides the club scene, besides all those hypersexual spaces? Like, are we really just making sure that we're good mentally and health-wise and so on and so forth? So I'm here and there with it,
But then, it's so funny because I feel like Pride is meant to be a party. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's meant to be a party. Because when I go to Pride, any Pride I went to in any city, everyone's getting drunk, everyone's smoking weed, like I've never been to a Pride in a different city where it wasn't like that. Even in New York, I mean, Ebony, if you've been to a Pride in New York, then you know what happens on the other side of those barricades that's not facing the parades. Like, everyone's selling nutcrackers, getting drunk, everybody's smoking weed, everybody's...
What's a nutcracker?
Oh, that's like a...
Oh my gosh.
Wait, no! What, everyone knows? Everyone knows but me? Wait, what is it?
Nutcrackers are like an alcoholic drink that people make at home.
Oh.
Bring it out and sell it.
Oh, okay. Well, I would...
Like, those little bottles...
Okay. Someone sell me a nutcracker. I'm coming back to town next week. I don't know. Listen, it's a whole different situation out here on the West Coast. Like it's just that everybody's different. So, anyways, awesome. So that's it for Hot Topics. After this break, we are going to dive in deep with our special guest. We're going to talk to Sev7en about his latest book, and we're going to find out what Ebony has in store now that things are opening back up. All right, stay tuned to Funny Money Rock. We'll be right back.
Funny money in this bitch, and we too legit. Been this side since 1-6, slim, thick lips, know how to keep my nigga brick on this. Stay at the top spot of that wish list, bitch.
Okay, all right, let's take this segment to dive deeply into one of tonight's guests. Ebony Ali is a performer, curator, and community organizer holding it down in the 215, that's Philly if you don't know. Through the pandemic, Ebony's Confessions, trademark, help keep the community together with witty discussions and musical moments. But now that things are opening back, she's ready to entertain the masses again. So, it's like, I'm so just glad to have you here. So this is the part where we get personal. I want to know about you and everything like that. Are you born and raised in Philly, and what part?
Born and raised in Philly, North Philly.
Okay.
North.
Okay.
North.
Oh, Norf, y'all.
Yeah.
North Philly. Okay. And don't believe everything you see on TV about Philly. Philly can give you anything that you want. If you want to have an Upper East Side, we have a little place called Rittenhouse. Like you can live whatever fantasy you want to live in, and you can live whatever little fantasy you want to live in New York. In Philly. I just want to say that. So I'm gonna get to the fun stuff, but let's start with your activism. It's Gay Pride Month, and Juneteenth is right around the corner. In the interest of freedom, and with so much work that needs to be done intra-community and just in the world, where are you focusing your civic activity in 2021?
Currently, my focus is because I'm also an event manager for a bar here called Taboo, which is a sports bar, which hosts like the most drag, burlesque, and performance art events in the city. And my focus currently is making sure that Black and brown entertainers are being more visible and are getting more bookings, getting more shows, and getting more work than ever before. Because after the Black Philly Town Hall, which was a online event with myself and Chell and Amber Heights, we pretty much called out the members of the Philly drag community for tokenizing Black performers and also not booking enough Black performers. So after that got attention and after accountability was held and a lot of producers and entertainers decided to step back, me over here at Taboo and Chell with Woody's Employer, and then also Level Up, which is a Black gay owned bar, we're all able to amplify and to prioritize Black queer performers like never before. So with the work I'm doing with that, that's my main focus for this year. Since we're opening back up, let's get these people some jobs.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, and you shouted out Level Up, so I'd be remiss if I didn't do the plug. Next weekend, I will be hosting adult entertainer King Venom, or just Venom, depending on how long you've been watching porn, his book, A Life of Lust, at Level Up Nightclub in Philadelphia. June 20th. Okay, so you say so it's a consortium, everybody's getting along. Now, that wasn't always the case, right? Taboo, it had to take over a place, a gay bar, because the owner of that gay bar was caught using racist remarks. Is that correct?
So the building where Taboo is housed now used to be a club called Eye Candy, and the owner of Eye Candy was caught on camera saying that N-words only ask for drink tickets, and playfully used the N-word in the songful manner, which went viral, and that was a whole ordeal after that. Online discussions and people trying to gaslight you and all lives matter you and everything, and people continued on with their BS. I don't know if I can curse on the show.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So now, and also
bought that building because the owner decided to retire and I think moved Eye Candy somewhere else. I'm not sure.
Next to a Golden Corral, I'm sure. Wait, and then the other thing, is this right? Did the black and brown stripe added to the flag, that came out of Philly too, right? Or am I?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that came out of Philly.
Okay.
And it was after around that time, a lot of black and brown community members started calling out and protesting against more than just the club Eye Candy, but medical facilities and like the Philadelphia Office of LGBT Affairs in City Hall. So it was a collective of so many different moments of trying to make change and making change that prompted the black and brown stripes on the flag, which is I'm proud of.
As you should be. As you should be. I mean, I'm proud too. Next question goes to JR.
Well, I mean, it's really interesting that it took this long for Black people to get recognition for certain things, especially because I feel like we've been at the forefront of everything. Just now, like and it's weird that you say that there's black and brown stripes on the flag because I've literally never seen that. Like now, I want to look it up after. I've never seen it.
Well, I live in supposedly the gayest city in the country, and they're not like super all around here. So, actually, they have more so this leather flag that strangely resembles the Blue Lives Matter flag, but you know, it's the Wild West. But sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt your question. Go ahead.
But so Ebony, like when you perform in Philly, like what's your fan base like? Like who's coming out to see you? Do straight women come out to see you?
I get a mixture of different people. Of course, with brunch, because if you've ever been to drag brunch is it's very bachelorette party heavy. It's like, you know, it's the safe haven for straight girls to come out and, you know, have mimosas and throw money. So it depends on what show it is.
I think I know something of what you're talking about. There's a place like that called Lips. I've been to.
Yes.
I've been to Lips. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, I gotta come see you perform. Do they sell chicken wings and waffles?
Yes, we do.
They got chicken and waffles. I'm there.
Yep, we got chicken and waffles.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So.
Oh, you've never been to Lips?
No.
Okay.
Well, now that COVID is, you know, vaccinated, you can go to Lips.
Where's Lips?
Check it out. In Manhattan.
Okay. All right. You know, we might edit them up. I don't know if we have a relationship with them. No, I'm kidding. Shade. So shade. I'm just kidding. But shout out Taboo and Level Up Bar because, you know, we're working with them today. No. Anyway. So, well, thank you so much, Ebony. We're gonna dive into your next appearances after the break, after we do our deep dive in with Sev7en and his new book, Keep It Locked to Funny Money Rock. We'll be right back.
Funny money in this bitch, and you know we too legit. Been this side since 1-6, slim, thick lips, know how to keep my nigga brick on this. Stay at the top spot of that wish list, bitch.
He's been so patient with us over the last few weeks, but we're super glad to finally be able to have the opportunity to highlight our other guest panelist today. Sev7en Taylor is a musical artist, however, turned author. His new book, Blood Moons, Conversations with My Ancestors, is out now. And we'll talk about it in a bit. But first, we're going to get personal. Okay. Are you dating? I cannot hear you.
No.
Nope.
How about now?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you dating? Are you dating?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How long you guys been together?
Shy of a good 5-6 months.
Okay. Does
Oh, you're practically married.
I totally reject that gay years, dog years shit. Like, like that is so offensive. Okay, like I totally reject that. Okay, and before we get into the serious stuff about the serious stuff, do you find, because just people want to know these things, so do you find it easier to promote your music single or in a relationship?
Well, I do everything business. I don't really promote my relationship. I keep those worlds separated.
Okay. So most of the fans probably didn't even know, and that's why we ask these questions and stuff. See, you know,
Well,
they
I
over
think
here
they
tapping
kinda
stuff,
got
thinking they gonna get a holla, and you know, it's gonna happen.
Right, they probably got a hint of it. But morally so, I feel like those things is more sacred. Relationships are sacred to me, so it's like I like to keep Sev7en on Sev7en terms and Trevon on Trevon terms. You know.
Okay.
My girlfriend.
Okay, all right. Well,
Listen, I totally understand the split personalities.
I mean, this nigga got like
Right.
18 million names. He got so many names, he a group of his own goddamn self. Junior Stacks down there. Okay. I be slipping up, trying to make sure I say the right thing when I'm talking. All right.
We got episodes of me saying I'm my government.
I know, my bad. You know, that's not on purpose. It's never malicious. So your dating approach to career is very not Kim Kardashian. So we appreciate that here. You know, but do you know? So we've been talking about community. We're all artists here, and like support from the community. How would you? Well, I guess I'll steal Junior's question. What is your audience? How would you describe your audience?
I feel like my audience is like more on a global sense. Like it doesn't just appear just to the gays, and it doesn't just appear to the straights. It's like the gays and straights in betweens, whatever you want to be.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Do you
come catch a
pronouns
vibe.
in your lyrics?
I can't hear you. What you said?
Do you use pronouns in your lyrics?
Do I do pronouns? Yeah, I do.
He or
I say
she.
He or she?
Whatever I'm feeling in that moment.
Oh, are you bisexual?
No.
Okay. No, listen, I gotta, all right. So, okay, so is this your first book?
No, it's my fourth.
Your fourth book. So, would you consider yourself more of an author than a musician, or the musician? And I know you're gonna say both equally, but you can't. That doesn't work. So.
I think I just feed, like, I feel like with myself, I feed every avenue of myself. So I'm like, when I want to put the author hat on, I put the author hat on. When I want to put the musician hat on, I don't know. I can't really.
What'd you do first?
What
What project did you release professionally first? Was it a music project or a book?
It was my books first.
Okay. All right.
Well,
So.
modeling and books, yes.
Okay, all right. So Blood Moon's Conversations with My Ancestors. I can think about like what that's going to include, but yeah, like tell me about these ancestors. Are they gay, straight, bi, black, white?
Right. So, well, I'm very spiritual, and it took me a good like 4 to 5 years to write another novel. But Blood Moon's Conversation with My Ancestor basically dives into shadow work, inner self, trauma, spirituality, superpowers, all different things that I feel Black people are. We are the living X-Men, you know. And I think when people do read the books, which a lot of people are going to be doing soon, I ship it out, they'll get to understand the stories and how I wrote a lot of stories from different perspectives, third person perspective, first person perspective, so on and so forth. I try to make sure that every chapter was a mind bender, you know, and I think it's very apparent to be having some type of alignment or relationship with your ancestors in this time.
For sure. And so it's a novel. Who's the main character?
So there's, it starts off with the character, her name is Sage, but it's no real main character because every chapter that you'll read has a different character, different storyline, etc. So it's like
Anthology.
kind of like short stories. In a sense.
Okay, like an anthology.
Right.
Do you base your characters off of people you know in your personal life?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I think probably just like experiences and things I've heard. Not necessarily people I know, just like Okay, so like I would take, I can hear, okay, so I have a story of someone that they were leaving work and a rape happened. In my mind, I'm going to twist the rape a little bit. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to make it very much like you think you know who did it, but you really don't know who did it. And you don't even know how it actually happened, rather than what the chapter says it is, you know, like by the end of the chapter itself. So I'm more on that side, if you get what I'm giving. You know, but yeah, I just think it's more of like a chronicle of this mind bending stories, things that really gonna make you think, things that might keep you up at night. You know, I kind of went that deep.
And you have a signing on the 19th, right? Is that
Correct?
Okay. Where's that going to be at?
So it's gonna be in the conference room of I reserved it, just because like I said, it's been years. Like this will be my third book signing. My other two book signings were like in the same location, but I felt compelled because people were asking like, "Oh, you should do a book signing." I didn't know really with the COVID situation and stuff like that, but here we are. So people can come to the book signing and get a copy, stuff like that. I'll sign it, or they can order on my website as well, booksby7.bigcartel.com, and I'll sign it as well and ship it. But I am on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. But if you want an autograph copy, then order through me.
Hey, okay. And those autograph copies matter, like, and it like really matters. Like, I get the vibe from you that, like, you know, like you do this for the art, and you do, you know, and so right. You know, I think just like in this social media world where like everybody's like an influencer. So I didn't mean to roll my eyes, guys. I did not mean to roll my eyes. You know, but I think it kind of dilutes sometimes, or has a diluting effect sometimes.
I know where you're going with it. Like,
yeah.
Like art in this era of life is kind of like really diluted. Like the real artists, the real ones that are really pushing content are the ones that kind of get overshadowed or pushed to the side by people that really know what it is to write a book, or really know what it is to make an album, or so on and so forth. You know, that's what the era that we're living in. We're living in a lot of let me fake it till I make it, but you really still fake it. Yeah,
and I feel like, you know, just like the people who are just in it for fame, just want fame. Like I think there's, you know, kind of something that kind of goes along with the audience as well. And so like with independent artists, there is that, you know, I see you're a real consumer, I'm a real creator, you know. And so buy the book, get that's my fancy way of saying buy the book, get that. Don't you know, don't be afraid to support your favorite, because your favorite is not everybody's favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that's...
Check out the music as well. The new Blessed Be is on all major platforms as well. That I released that in April. And the Throat video. Check that out.
Speaking of which, we're going to play the Throat video. And it's going to be our rapper shout out. So why don't you... Do we have the whole video, or is it a snippet? We have the whole thing, Throat.
I'm playing this whole thing.
Yeah, okay. All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bitch. Why the fuck do I keep seeing your name and shit in my nigga phone? Stop communicating with him. He don't need a fucking third wheel, bitch. He has a family, period. I said what the fuck I said.
Sev7en. Paving this shit. So y'all wanna know how to really school these niggas right quick? Every week I'm with a new dude. I would hate me too. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Fuck the dough. Fuck. Gotta fuck the dough. When they fuck the dough. Gotta fuck the hoe. All my bitches wanna ball us. Niggas wanna call her. Got a white bitch dancing like she Paula. Niggas wanna wife me. Bitches wanna fight me. Rolled a dick last night. Y'all been my white tee. Niggas on precise my skills and dress to kill. Niggas wanna cop the mill, then drop the mill. Niggas say, is it real? They said, damn Is that ass real? Pull up, excuse me. I mean, nigga, I don't really do this, but like, you know, let me just fuck your throat. Fuck your throat. Got a couple little niggas tryna fuck the throat. Fuck your throat. I got a couple niggas tryna fuck the throat. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Yo, Big Seven, nigga, are you in it? Nigga, are you talking or you really gon' spin it? Niggas wanna see me on my tippy toes. Got a couple niggas that can cop me those. Berkeley, Chanel's and all that. Got a couple niggas that call back. Love a nigga with the big old towels. Got a couple little niggas that be hitting them styles. Niggas wanna know how that ass on rolls. Yeah, that record it rolls. I'm sorry, like, I don't normally do this, but let me fuck your throat. Fuck your throat. Got a couple little niggas tryna fuck your throat. Fuck your throat. Got a couple little niggas tryna fuck your throat. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Can't let a dumb niggas just dump in it. Ucho ala bang bang, niggas on my thing things. Got a couple niggas that wanna show me things. Niggas wanna cop this, bitches wanna rock this. What the fuck is the topic? Ooh, gotta shake it out. Niggas wanna break me off. Niggas wanna know how to get this. An amended edition when you sip this. I'm sorry, I'm such a gentleman. Matter of fact, let me fuck your throat. Gotta do a couple things when I fuck that throat. Fuck your throat. Gotta do a couple things when I fuck the throat. Can't let a dumb nigga just bust in it. Can't let a dumb nigga just bust in it. Can't let a dumb nigga just bust in it. Rule number one to be a boss ass nigga. Never let the clown nigga try to play you. If he do, then fuck the whole crew. Cop the diamonds and the bags and the boo. Don't act like I never gave y'all.
Hey, that was lit. That was lit. Yeah, I don't know. We had to do the little dance party just to, you know, little sun. All right, so I could sit here and talk with you guys all night, but unfortunately we are. Oh, what? So, you know, I could just sit here and talk to you guys all night, but unfortunately, we're out of time. Before we go, I want to go ahead and invite our guests to, you know, provide their final thoughts and, you know, to plug and promote, whatever they have coming up next. We'll go ahead and start with Ebony Ali.
Yes. You can just follow me on Instagram at @IconEbonyFears, on Facebook, Ebony Ali. I post a lot of random shit. I'm silly. And I am going to be in Pittsburgh for a bunch of shows, July 11th and 12th. So make sure if anybody in Pittsburgh, make sure you check me out. And if you ever come to Philly and you want to see some events, you can go to birdevents.com. That is BURDEVENTS, and I also have other events. So, yes, go check me out. Follow me on the Instagram, and yeah.
All right.
Oh, my time. Okay. Oh, hey, it's your boy Sev7en Taylor. For one, thank you so much for having me on. You can follow me at SEV7ENTAYLOR on all social media platforms. Out now is Blessed to Be, my new EP. You can check out Throat Video as well on YouTube. My new book, Blood Moons, Conversation with My Ancestors, is available on booksby7.bigcartel.com. And I have a lot of announcements coming very, very soon, actually this week. So stay tuned.
Back to the show.
Well, you know, y'all know who I am already, Junior Stacks. You can follow me on Instagram at JuniorStacks_on_the_track. And I'm having another wonderful day. As the words are on you, I can do this with you guys all day.
Not that. Anyway, for the latest and inclusive urban entertainment, keep it locked to funnymoneyrock.com. Also, don't forget to check out the Funny Money Rock playlist. The first playlist consisting of exclusively LGBT hip-hop and R&B synced across Apple Music, Tidal, and Spotify. It's Funny Money Rock, funnymoneyrock.com. Thank you guys so much. Mwah. Okay.
Funny money in this bitch, and you know we too legit. Been this side since 1-6, slim, thick lips, know how to keep my nigga brick on this. Stay at the top spot of that wish list, bitch.
How about that panel, man? Tell me they weren't incredible. Thank you so much to my guests, Icon Ebony Fierce, Sev7en Taylor, and J.S. Stacks for holding it down as always. You know, we went off into some other tangents, but I think that it's important. I think that, you know, as a black gay community, we're only as strong as we are together. So that's why we went into that whole, you know, thing about anti-trans lives and anti-trans attitudes within the gay community, because it matters. Because I look at it this way, and I've just seen this happen so much, like, you know, people using black on black crime as a justification for not giving black people the rights. And so we need to nip this intra, you know, racism in the gay community, anti-trans attitudes in the gay community. We need to root that out as soon as we can, because believe it or not, people are going to be using that as an excuse and a reason for why we as gay people don't deserve certain rights and stuff if we can't do right by each other. So just keep that in mind. We'll be back next week with a rerun. We already taped the episode. It's going to be featuring Cornell, aka Poetic Soldier from Mama's Boy and stuff like that. You don't want to miss it. For the latest and inclusive urban entertainment, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep it locked to funnymoneyrock.com.
Hey y'all, it's me, Samson McCormick.
This is your boy Cornell Cecil.
I want you to keep it locked
with
Icon City Entertainment,
the Funny Money Rock, and Icon City News,
the Icon City Entertainment,
for the latest inclusive urban entertainment.
For the most inclusive urban entertainment.